Hello there, fellow pilots. This is Black Hellhound once again, and today I want to talk to you about something that I see way too often and can be completely avoided. Now, what am I talking about? I am talking about incorrectly judging an aircraft's possibilities and target fixating. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about target fixating, but incorrectly judging a plane's abilities is something most of you haven't heard of, and therefore a lot of people do it wrong. That's why I want to bring this to light and let people know about this. Let's talk about misjudging a plane's performance first. Many people, when seeing a plane, like for instance the SBD Dauntless dive bomber, immediately think it's a heavy, underpowered, not maneuverable aircraft. In some way they are completely correct, but the one thing many people do wrong or forget is that these planes aren't actually that bad as they are. Now, because they forget that they are actually pretty good aircraft, they often neglect its performance as dangerous. What I mean is, let's say there is a friendly fighter next to you, but he's in front of you, let's say about half a kilometer. Now this enemy, instead of going for you, goes for the fighter. Now in some way that makes sense, because he's a fighter, he can kill you. But many people, unfortunately, forget that I, in my SBD Dauntless, am still capable of killing him. And that's exactly what misjudging an aircraft's performance is. Now in this clip you can see it a few times, where I am literally positioned behind a teammate and the enemy fighter decides to go for the fighter, allowing me to kill him. Most people think that a plane like the SBD Dauntless, the A-20G, the IL-2, which are ground attack aircraft, are not very good at dogfighting, and they're completely right. But that doesn't mean that they can't do it, and it doesn't mean that they cannot kill them. That's a big issue, and I see this happening a lot. Most people simply ignore you if they think someone else is a bigger threat than it actually is. This Hurricane is a beautiful example. He goes for the fighter that is alongside me, and not for me. And as you can see, without any trouble, I can pull on this guy's 6 and get some great shots into him. Now right here I'm having some trouble turning, but using my combat flaps I can easily get in a good position again. This is a classic mistake of misjudging a plane's performance. If that Hurricane would have, let's say, damaged one of my wings, I would not have been able to fight him, allowing him to fight the friendly fighter. Now this Spitfire here basically does the same. He just flies past me. I get a lucky hit on this pilot, and it's goodbye him. Right now, not so many people will come in that I can kill, but every single player in this server ignored me, except for one. But other than that, they always went for the fighters, even though they weren't always their biggest threat. That's something you really need to pay attention to. Now, how can you counter this? Well, first of all, if you see a fighter and a, let's say, a ground attack aircraft, and you see them next to each other, first of all analyze who's in front. If the fighter is in front, it is sometimes smarter simply to stay back and wait for the two to split up. Once they're split up, you no longer have to deal with two aircraft. Instead, you only have to deal with one. The second option is, when you attack, make sure the medium bomber or ground attack aircraft is damaged, because then, of course, he cannot keep up with you, he cannot turn with you, and that gives you a great advantage. You don't necessarily need to take him out instantly, you just need to take him out of the fight. Now that's the most important thing. Now that you have two different options, you can of course make the best choice. Wait for the two to split up, or make sure that the ground attack aircraft or the least dangerous aircraft is immobilized. So, let's talk about target fixating. What is this? Well, it's actually very simple. You see a target, and no matter what happens, you go for that one specific target. No one else. You don't care if anyone is on your 6, you don't care if anyone is in front of you, above you, beneath you, even shooting at you. You just go for this one guy. That's target fixating, and it's actually the worst thing you can do. Why? Because if you are target fixating and the enemy team realizes this, what they can do is they can simply have someone fly in such a way that they are hard to hit. But you become an easy target. I myself make use of this technique because it is very effective. When I do this, I of course have my friends with me. Either me or they will become the fake bait, and the other one will then be able to shoot them down. Sometimes, however, people will simply go after random people that you do not know, target fixate, and you can still make use of their mistake to target fixate. Right here I have a great bit of gameplay that shows exactly how target fixating can help you, but also how this can have negative effect to your gameplay. So what are we looking at? There's a P-63 that is target fixated on a 109F, and I am trying to get him off his 6. However, my plane is not very maneuverable, but here, because of the target fixating, he lines up perfectly for me, and I managed to help the 109. Exactly my goal. But the only reason why I could have taken that kill was because the P-63 decided to target fixate. That's his mistake. When I first shot at him, he could have taken countermeasures against me to prevent me from killing him, but he didn't. That cost him a life. And since this is realistic, you only have one life. Right here, there's a P-51 in front of me. He was squatted up with the P-63, and just like the P-63, this guy also target fixated. He simply didn't look behind him. He could have seen me coming from approximately 6 kilometers away, and yet he target fixated on that one guy. I see people target fixate in almost every game I play, and that, while it is such an easy thing to avoid, all you have to do is when you engage, once in a while when you think you have the time, just take a look behind you, take a look above you, left and right, and you're done. Looking beneath you is usually not necessary, but it's always a smart thing to do. Well guys, I hope you guys will no longer underestimate enemy planes and, of course, never target fixate. This will improve your gameplay. This will make you a better player due to the simple fact that you can avoid dying for unnecessary reasons. I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button below. And if you haven't done so, subscribe. This was Black Hellhound, and I'll see you later.